Sometimes I think people think like I'm a daddy Mac or some bullshit and all this other stuff, and I'm really far from it. Complete, almost opposite. I'm very introvert, but when it comes to like going and talking to a girl and trying my hardest not to be afraid to be rejected, which is still something that's like practice. It's like a muscle. It's like I know I'm going to get rejected, so I better try to make sure that I have the stomach and the balls to be rejected like numerous amounts of time. And whenever I get a yes, I'm kind of like almost hoping for like a no and like a rejection, just so that she knows that she got like the ultimate gratifying compliment, because I know what it feels like to feel alone and like, you know, scarred or like empty and like, oh well, that part of me is dead because I know that there's no one for me. Or it's not like I'm an original piece or anything like I feel, which I'm just unique and cultural in some ways, but like it's like what I'm more preserving for myself that I guess makes me unique. And I've learned to love myself like you're taught to or supposed to or advised to. I took that advice a long time ago, because it was like, if I'm going to be like a young black or a pretty man and that doesn't seem that black, it would still be like, you know, like every black woman, I'm going to always be the fuck alone forever and ever, and just endless alone, because every motherfucker thinks that they got like a little moment to test me. And sometimes I just want to tell that bitch, like, please keep drinking the Alizé. I love you, but even if I'll never be with you because of the circumstances. Now, and I love some black women. It's not about race really, but it's just like one of them things, like if you look around in the world and you realize, man, it must be tough as shit to be a lonely black bitch in this fucking world and shit. And with what black men do, I'll never have a fucking chance with a black woman, because I'm not really like that. But I still like, I'm not hating on black dudes. I'm just saying, like, I don't really like fit the vibes of a black man in what they might even be looking for on the straight up and like on the real quick, like what they expect. So it's not like you'll ever find me. Like, I'm not like somebody that's easy to come across, let alone for like a black woman's average cool ass, like straight up no problems. Just saying, like a real normal statistic, I probably won't come up, let alone it being a black woman. So I got a lot of love and respect for them. But behind the doors, whether we ended up together or not, I would still be like, God, we have taken a fucking beating with these fucking people, son. Like, and I'm talking about her and me. And if you're like me, or if you know how difficult that is to end up with your right normal one and shit, without like all the extra baggage or bullshit, or like what makes you just unique or some shit. If you're just like basic, I couldn't even end up with one. How the fuck is that? I wish I could tell you like so many fucking stories, but then like the only stories they want to hear is Grandmaster Pimpin' always got the Big Mac at the McDonald's and picked her up in less than 30 minutes. Like, what the fuck do you want from me? Like, if I could just tell you what the world kind of like pushes at you, and what sometimes they just outburst and just tell you, and I'm like, no, there ain't no Big Daddy Mac. I don't think that dude exists. And the other ones that do exist are so like normal that you can see why they're picking up girls. It's because they fit everybody really well and shit. And I respect that hardcore too. I don't have beef with that. I'm just like, well, that's the explanation. Like, you should be hardcore proud that you can just go click with people like that. And I click too if I want to, but it's like, why the fuck do I have to seem like I'm putting something on? If that's the fucking case, why the fuck would I even bother? But every once in a while, I'm like, this girl deserves a compliment of fucking rejecting me. And then when she kind of gives me a chance, I figure out how I'm going to curl this into her compliment, because I really totally was not ready for her to be like, you know, some extra shit. Or even when it ends up being like something totally crazy. It's either it's like nothing and like a complete like bomb out and wanting to like eat me out and then just leave me with a heart broken. It's like she wanted to like take me back to her hotel and show me a fucking evening, and I was totally not ready for her to like give me a huge giant doggy biscuit dinner. And I was like, that's so sweet of her, but I really just wanted to give her the compliment because I knew that this was fucking empty as shit, and all I wanted to do was give her the compliment of like, you look great tonight. But if I say that, I look like one of those stupid douchebags who's just like walking past and being like, you know, trying to like sell them an evening or trying to sell them the nightclub promotion or some fucking shit. And if you used to nightclub promote, you're used to like trying to make an evening out of like 5 to 10 seconds that you have to give them this card and convince them to go somewhere. But if you spend too much time with them, it's like, oh, this motherfucker harassed me. Like, that's just how society is. You can't just like tell them for more than like a minute or more than like, dude, it has to even be, because with what commercials actually are these days, it has to be less than like, you know, 7 to 10 seconds that you try to explain to them that this nightclub might be a good evening out. Like, people are so already broken by what society's mediocrity and generative fucking advertisements are and worth that you can't even tell them to like, no, I'm not a pump disc jockey. No, this isn't my friend's album. No, I just wanted you to go have a nice evening because you look like a couple that could respectively, you know, hang in this nightclub and feel comfy or whatever. But like, there's no way to say that. And even if you're cute and you say all those self-serving, honest fucking things, it'll still never like come out right. People have already like dished out and ruined it. So you just have to like, you know, pretend that you work for the church and just kind of give them their joint and then peacefully leave in less than 3 to 7 seconds. Like, shit, you know, like whatever. Because it's not like they have anything more than a fucking moment of ejaculate. And if you have like a pre-coming boyfriend, you'll understand why like anything more than 7 seconds is a fucking annoyance. And it's like, you might be fine as shit, so you can't even blame him for it. But like, by the end of it, I would be like, still like, you know, whatever here. But it's still like the same thing. And sometimes I only expect to give them like a seriously great, gratifying compliment to like warm up their night of like, yeah, we know we're going to be lonely forever and shit. And absolutely, you're probably not the right one. I'm not basing it on looks. I'm basing it on like the person just randomly tried to get some pussy or randomly knew that this could be an opportunity. Of course, it was an opportunity for me to compliment the person. I've given up on that shit so long ago. And of course, they don't know that. All they see is Big Daddy Mac or some guy trying to like warm the glow out of him. And they're just like, who the fuck? Well, in their back of their mind deeply, they're probably like, who the fuck are they to think that they could do anything for me or let alone warm up my night? Or it's probably another one of those motherfucking scam artists who thinks that they can get some pussy my night and then convince me to waste my money somewhere. And if not the last part or the latter, then probably the part where they think that they can convince me that they have something instead of nothing, or the one thing I thought I liked about them, like they did a good haircut or their mustache was alright, or maybe their pants looked like they were from this season. And it's all like little small things and shit. But like, you know, if you can bring one thing to the table, usually it's like, oh, you could make their night or something, or just find something instead of being a fucking jerk or like whatever. But like, I've just totally given up on any of that because so many men have like surpassed me in all those fucking things that sometimes I just give an average boy George and just like kind of just like, you know, like kind of give him something so basic and so average that it was like, if you knew that like a group of models was walking down the street and every single one of you independently asked you out a different normal, super normal way, knowing that looks and anything you could concede to could not matter, and still ask them out, it would probably be like 95, 98, 99% of the way the same thing, as they just are not looking for you, that type, or even the random type that would even like guff up, figure it out, or even try to figure out how the hell they were going to be able to do that, or people that already knew how and did it so correctly that it was just suspicious. So by the end of it, you're right. And it, like, could you add up that percentage? Go add up the percentage I just like fucking finished declaring. It's still just kind of like, nah, you don't have a shot. And like, of course, like they have to be skeptical. Look at the nightmare that they're living in. Like, what the fuck is it being a single woman if like a dude like me feels like I get sharked a lot even by like the fact that when women don't ask me out, or the situation has been perfectly created for me to like try to negotiate a date with a girl, let alone the fact of like what the fuck I must be presenting that society has taught me to do, or what I ever know that naturally is accustomed. Like, just go be yourself, really. But even when you know that you have to like try to put something on for some women to be able to get them to feel like comfortable that like, oh, this is how we act, this is what society is, this is like who we are as a people, so go with me, I want to take you with me as a person to go feel normal for like a few hours. Like, that only works if you do make sure that you seem accustomed to them sometimes. So it's not like I'm putting on a Mac, but it's just one of them things and shit. Like, I don't ask out every girl the same fucking way, and forgive me if that's wrong, I just don't. I want to make sure that they feel a little bit comfortable, because it could be anybody just rolling up on you with some fucking game, or at least not taking an accountability that like, would you be comfortable with a dude talking to you after work, talking to you after dinner, talking to you after most of the normal events that you would have been doing? So no, I have to convince them that I make sense to talk to at least. So it's not like you have to put on a game. But like, I'm just saying that because even for people who don't have game like me and just know that I'm supposed to go be human, it feels more comfortable if they're just human. But for anybody who knows why you don't use any Mac at all, or why you use some just to make them feel comfortable with the type of men that would probably ask them out, or something to negotiate them into, why I could be different if I know what our type are and all that bullshit. But like, by the end of it, I just feel so horrified. But like, when I do put those things on for us and I'm trying to make it evening for us, no one will ever understand that, really. And even when I do get a chance to like find one that could be like a sister in need and shit like that, I try to take care of it as a special occasion to make sure that this is for us. Because like, we gonna be some lonely Alizé, Bouger, Malibu drinking motherfuckers. Because if you got Alizé, I got Malibu on the other side of it, and that's like the lowest alcohol content that I drink, no offense. Like, otherwise I drink like hard liquor and shit, but I can understand how a girl could just chill there and do her fucking thing. And if you know all the black women that I'm talking about are love and respect, even the ones that kind of like low-key got blackballed, I still support her on the underground, and I don't know what happened to her. But like, hint, like, whatever. Anyway, I want to say her name, but I don't like name drop or do anything like that. And plus, I'm kind of like low-key really like a nerdy black person, so it's really not okay for me to nerd drop, because like, as soon as they like end up in my actual circles for like, where was that and what did that come from, it's like, why did I have to go through a pack of trolley ass nerds that are tech geeks to figure out what the fuck you were talking about, and you're just like brown too and wanted to show me some love? It was like, it's still like, no, you still put me through a hell of a fight. So of course I don't fucking name drop or anything like that, but by the end of it, like, support your sisters, and support all women anyway, but support your sisterhoods. Because like, even in the black circuit, if you know what I'm talking about, if you don't worry about it, just skip out on it, because like, it's just one of them unique life paths that you don't need to know and then learn and then approach us. You just need to live, because it's like, I know because we know. It's not like I know because we all learned how the fuck society is just wrong all the time and shit. But anyway, by the end of it, it's like, love to all of that, and love to all those people that are single and will never be with anybody. Because I'm still in the category, I'm like, I think I'm gonna be single forever. And as I get older, I don't even want to drop my fucking age, but I will later when it seems important. But like, for no casual reason, just go with the flow of it, so that you realize that like, you're still kind of in the same boat as not like ever being with anyone, unless you're just single until you get the ropes of what you really want or looking for, or what will be able to accept you or love you or whatever. But like, I think the point of what I originally started this out for as a speech was that I had like this kind of like dive crash moment where, some girl was trying to send me a hint that she's loved me ever since high school. And I was like, I was the one that loved her ever since high school, but then like she's finally like giving up on life and breaking down and admitting that we're all still alone. And like I'm like, oh no, girl, homegirl, don't just break yourself off and then suddenly think that you've rationalized how to accept me. Or like, and I'm not like super ugly or anything, but like I was different, and I wasn't like I was kind of a loser, but kind of like whatever. I still am kind of a loser, I still am kind of a nerd, but I'm not like super duper ugly or anything. It's just kind of one of them things where like, oh, I can see how he's not your type. And he definitely was like, you know how they have a stereotype and I'm stereoscopic? Like I'm just a little bit too deep and a little bit too emotional, a little bit like too romantic, to the point where like if you notice the nerdy side, it's because he tried to break down and tell you some shit. Like I didn't have like a Mac when I was a kid. I had like a run up and tell you like, I need all of you and I need you and I want to give you all of my cookies this year. Please be with me. It was like so fucking lame, super lame. So then like later on when you become an adult and you're like, this fucking idiot, and you went back and fell in love with that dude, I don't even fucking believe you. I'm just like, no, you're just becoming weak and shit. You're becoming weak and you're becoming weak and aged or some shit. Like, what's the word for that shit? You're becoming weak and feeble. Why are you like giving up and going back to that kid? I don't even look back on it and be like, oh my god, of course she was never gonna date me. I was so stupid. But then like you know, like I am really fucking romantic though, but I just am like, I don't have a prowess to bite anything like that. I didn't have the like courage or the strength to be like, I need that pussy and like, come get me with your butt scrambler, wiggly, 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 bitch. Like I just didn't have any of that. Like, what do you want from me? So everything that came out was so goddamn sweet that it was disgusting that you were just like, no. And then like when I got older and I looked back, I was like, oh my god, what if that bitch was like sitting there and she was like, she was probably like, oh no, we're like 12 and you're gonna fuck around and try to marry me right now, bitch? I want like a field to play in. She probably wanted to go and experience what men actually were, and I was so fucking deformed mentally to her and shit. You know how mature women are though, even like young women who are like probably already been hit on by other people that are a little bit more advanced than you anyway. So like I totally did not understand any way a woman would understand anything. I was fucking stupid. And of course it's like stupid innocent, but it's also like when we get older and the person's breaking down and finally like willing to accept that I was like the major crush on her or something, and it was like, yeah, but there ain't no boy who just like broke down in the middle of the lunchroom and like tried to like fucking ask you out like he was gonna fall apart before he gets a fucking car or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hope I didn't like reverse traumatize the bitch and make her feel like, of course, that there's no type for that because they're just so fucking pathetic. And like I feel so bad, but like even if like I am criticizing myself, but it's kind of like it's so pathetic that a few guys like that come every once in a while, and whether I don't consider special or not, when I'm telling you the truth, when I look back on it, I was like, oh my god, I was so deformed mentally that I didn't even understand how to mac or like how to even like ask out somebody appropriately. It would have been even worse. The only thing that was worse is if I like put my cookies and put like my snacks on the floor and like kicked them or like nudged them across the lunchroom table and was like, please date me. I got a few months in a year to figure out how to get us together, baby. Please take some snacks. Like here's my fucking Welch's fruit like pack. Please. How stupid is that? And I can look back on it and laugh at it, but like by the end of it, like my real point is that I was already so like cripplingly unique in a way that made me fucking nerdy or just like out of place. Like I wasn't ugly. I wasn't like super duper awkward, but I was just so a little bit far out of place that it never made sense to even have me quite on the list, other than like, oh, he's sweet, but just like not quite right, but kind of kosher. But who the fuck needs a vegan tray or a veggie tray right now type of thing or some shit, unless like I'm really in dire needs for like, why the fuck I gotta adhere straight to somebody who's just not stupid enough to fucking fucking tame or touch me or anything. Like, I was really stupid, sugar sweet, and it just didn't fucking make any fucking sense. It was like that dude who's like drooling and has bugs crawling out of his mouth, like trying to ask you out to like a cookie date or some shit. Like, let's go to Starbucks. I need my thing with like 2.5 inches of fucking coffee and like 3 to 4 inches of like pure foam and like fucking whipped cream. Like, what the fuck was I don't even know. It was just terrible. It was like a foamy beer type of thing for what men would expect. It was like, this is all head and new drink. Like, it was just fucking terrible. But then by the end of it, I'm like, I sit there, and as I get older, I'm like, bitch, I hope you know that no matter what happens, no matter how much I ever look like a baby Mac, no matter how much I look like baby gangster OG, like somewhere deep down inside, and I fucking know it, like we probably, most likely, like 72 to 98% gonna be alone forever, Miss Black Girl on the other side, Miss Brownie. Because it's not like I only date white girls. I do end up with a lot of white girls, but like sometimes I really do hardcore push for one, but then I'd be like, man, we're just gonna be alone forever because of how society is built. So like, just know my heart's always there for you. You're always a sister, and I don't know how else that I can send you little letters through time and space that let you know that Brownie is just always a little bit like, will I ever be able to save my sister on the next episode of whatever the fuck being brown is, without why Black is just always going to be that thug, or whatever the fuck that is to us. Because that's the only next step down to what they don't know. And I'm not even lying to them. Like, I'm a thug too, but like, I'm just like, I have times where I'm supposed to be like his sidekick, and I'm just totally not thugging because I have to wait for the diplomacy moment to see if there's anything we can declare while he has to lose his fucking mind and pretend that he's a fucking machine gun or some shit. I don't know. I just go with the flow. But you know how it is being light-skinned and shit like that. And of course I don't really, there really isn't that much of a difference if it doesn't need to be. But I know that like if I'm supposed to use everything to its full potential to support us, then I just go and I play my fucking part. I'm not one of those people that just like, you know, makes us fuck up because I want to do what I want to do. I literally go and play the best part that I can play for the team. Otherwise it's like, well shit, when that breaks off, I'll go and do the best that I can, but it really doesn't fucking matter. And it really isn't about fucking race. It's just one of them things where like, of course people coercely, silently go through life without saying any of that shit, but I'm not one of those people. I've always been upfront about like, I always try to do the best that I can for us or whatever, and when you want me to go in there and act like a white boy, I go and I do the best that I fucking can. But like, if you just gonna be crazy as shit, then I can't help you anyway. But by the end of it, that's not really what my point was. Back to the point, all to those beyond race, all to those who know that we're going to be probably alone forever, 98% most of the way, is when I really think about it on my own. And when I look at hope and I'm thinking like the times that I've been seeing hope that like we could have ever like run into each other and been an actual naturally developed couple from society, which is fucking impossible. For what I want and what I think I deserve and what I think for life deserves, because it's like too weird to know that I can't find another like brownie that just seems like me, looks like me, and kind of feels cultural like me or something, even though I'm not like supremely cultural to the point where like you don't forget that I'm an Americanized nerd or something. So it's like, okay, that's probably impossible to find. So then like by the end of it, like, you know, another fucking brownie that I can still just kind of be all right with, because I know what we are. But like, you know, even beyond that fucking point, I closed the door on that and I say, okay, so even if like we're all going to be single for the rest of our lives, don't forget that on the other side, sometimes like, yeah, it was just a compliment, but sometimes and they're not ugly or anything. I just know that there was just no way in hell that we're compatible. We're just trying too hard to make something compatible. And I'm like, that never really works out. And I don't want to break our fucking heart. That doesn't work out. And it's not like I would ever break up with them. I would lock. Dude, I've met like fucking women that are like fucking 60 and 80 and shit that I'd be like, oh man, I would totally lock that if I knew that I wouldn't be a lone dead puppy by myself after she died. I would just like starve to death in her fucking house, like pretending that I could keep her alive with my love or some bullshit. Like love in life is too tormenting these fucking days for me to figure out what the fuck is real. Like, and the real part is like, ain't I supposed to be like a romance movie? Isn't I supposed to to like just like fucking starve to death if she dies or something? Like, what the hell is that shit like where, you know, you like finally like, you know, you date another woman and then you die and then you go to heaven and she's like, who's that bitch that you were with after I died? Nah, fuck that. I just went and stayed single. I'm like, that old bitch Marion, like, that's right. I don't want that bullshit. I don't want to die and then go to heaven and hell and then find out that bitch is like, who's that bitch that you were fucking in my bed? Oh no, it's just as bad as like fucking if she was alive. Like, fuck that bullshit. I'd be like fucking Ned Flanders and shit. Oh no, the black Ned Flanders and shit. It's just terrible. So anyway, long story short, to people who probably be single forever because of this kind of shit, no one understands why I'm like so critically fucking gonna be alone for the rest of my life. It's like, you want to be with some booty like Hulk Smash, and I want to be with some booty like Get the Fuck Away from Hulk Smash, because it's just weird, because it's like, I'll smash you away from me. I should probably survive this, so stay away from me, Hulk Smash. And then sometimes I'll even be like, go Hulk Smash, just get her away from me. There's no way in hell that I need to be with somebody who doesn't understand that, like, I would rather like cripple myself than be with the wrong fucking person, or to like go the rest of my life like humoring myself about people that just ain't fucking right for me. And even if you start to learn me from all this, I don't give a shit. I'm not like that fucking scared of the fucking world. It's just kind of like, you know, don't you realize that, like, I don't know what I am or what this is, but like everybody would like lie to me, and as soon as you come out of the closet about anything real, not that I was ever scared to, it was just kind of one of them things where like, well, now you have a chance to lie to me? Like, well, of course I can't believe you. Like, you know me now. Like, why the fuck would you ever like give a shit? Like, you know, now you can just like auto dialogue and turn into whatever mimic robot that you want. I'll never trust your ass. And if you ever found out any of this about me, just enjoy what you can enjoy and take what things you can for the benefit, and then just leave me the fuck alone, because it's like, obviously I'll never trust you or the fucking world. You hear me? I'll never trust you in the world. But like, you can go and fucking live, because like everyone wears so many fucking masks, historically speaking, that why the fuck would I care that I'm even a fucking robot? But then love isn't even true. Like, if you know that we're gonna be alone for fucking ever and this is just what it is, then go and enjoy your life. But those little gracious moments that I give you that aren't even super duper fake, it's like, even when they're like supposed to reject me, it's not like I didn't want to be with them. It's the fact that like the compliment had to be real and strong, and I wanted them to have that more badly than what my life was worth, to how other people gamble on me to go fuck ride something, or to sprint away, or like, what are we, fucking ray horses and greyhounds and shit? Like you used to, like, pound for pound, you must be the penis. Like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do, ejaculate my life? Like, leave me alone, because even if life acted like that, which it does, it still would be weird that you still don't even know that you're ejaculating from something. So what if you didn't know? What if you didn't know? So you probably would be just losing your life to fuck. And that's exactly what the fuck it is, because prospectively, within civilization, or if all the festivians even meant anything, you would be partying to party to party to what? Lose what your children believe before they're even born? Think about it. You're being fucked out of who you are by a succubus who can't even look back to check her own butt, but wants you to fuck to get back, but you can't even back trust a butt fuck, so why do you only want anal, you little bitch? Did you ever think of it? You don't even think, because you're too busy trying to imprint. How the fuck do you get gacked to get banked, and get Hulk Smash's bank to fuck back? Get it? Get ganked. Get ganked over the gack? What if the gack owns you? I'd geek out too if I saw an ass like that, but I don't call back, because ass might even be like chapsticks. What are you, wet to suck? Yeah, that's right. Y'all suck ass. Now, anyways, let's get back to the fucking point. Now, fuck rap. This is not even about rap. This is my hysterical fact that, like, love will never be real and never be true. And then you realize, oh my God, Hypnox is not fake at all. He's just really good at lying about honesty. And it's so bad that you can't even tell them the truth about how sick it makes you that the world is really impregnated by the worst things that you have to woe about them. And that's all they want, is a worse lover. you bad, bitch, you bad. But anyways, whatever. Either way, and even when I have to be a bad bitch to get one, I still don't even understand how the fuck do I compliment the person that I admire for being so strong in the grace of it, and she'll never have any like skin soft enough for me to even truly compliment her or tell her how sweet it is to try to give you a compliment, even if you shot me or even if you like tried to destroy me before I told you your hair looks nice or something. Because our type on the other side of things is so like built up to whatever the fuck you did to her, dude. Like, and sometimes when I think about it as being a black person and not just being a human being, I'm like, oh my god, me and that bitch are gonna be alone drinking Malibu and Alizé for the rest of our lives, smoking cigars and fucking weed. We're gonna be alone for the rest of our lives, just because. And it's weird too, because they want to keep us apart to psychologically be able to get between what is popular culture to see if they can fuck somebody else between us. And I don't even understand it. Like, I'm not like a leech seed for you. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And even if that's too deep for us, let's go back to the surface of it. Even if like I was like, oh yeah, this is a lot of fucking drama. But whatever, either way, and I'm not a drama giver, but this is almost like commonplace knowledge to me about life. So it's just weird that like, whether I'm not bitching or not or complaining, it's just kind of like, this is love. That's what love actually fucking is like, oh, you want us to fuck, okay, thank you. Or you don't even want us to like talk to each other so that you can have somebody else. Like, so that you can have somebody else from risking what we think is a lifestyle to ourselves and being alone forever. Jesus fucking life, enjoy. Welcome to the status quo for minority people or whatever the fuck, or cultural people. But anyways, by the end of it, like, I'm still just like, the compliment is supposed to serve you up to a certain level to where you know that you're worth all of those things, including just like destroying this Big Daddy Mac that I always appear as. And whenever I'm forced to be one, sometimes I just pick somebody who's gonna destroy me and let them just burn me unmercifully in front of them, so that they know that this thing will never be an epidemic, never be a moral interest, never be an integrity, never be an ideological mindset for any of us. Even when I'm sitting there, like, sometimes a thug, but like sometimes I always stepped up for honor, so I don't know how many times to burn myself for that. But the other few times that I did, it was still kind of like, I let that dude take me down because he was kind of like, well, like an older American dude should whoop my ass, because it's like, I want you to have the country back that you made good. There's things that make sense about, poetic society or American or Dead Poet Society. All these different things make sense and shit. Or the little Spanish dude that was like learning from the motherfucker in that joint, like all kinds of fucking things. And it's just like, always give back to society whenever you can. And I found it more important than being with somebody in a lot of ways, even though I ache and sometimes I just kind of break down and mourn why I'll never be with anybody. But then it's just kind of like, it's not like I close the doors to bleed. It's just that I already am like facing the dead grief. They're like, what are you talking about? That bitch is not my type and not into my type anyway. And like, it's not that I'm not into her, it's just that she's just not my type, and I know it. And it's like, eventually, what are you doing, putting me on the same thing as you to get a fucking divorce? I don't want a divorce. I just want to marry somebody and be done with it and just be like, we've been together for 8 and 9 years and I'm staring down my old cleats and thinking I could still walk, so I might be able to fuck right or something. But last few weeks I put a hump in there and my back started throwing out, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to do this. And if I can't fuck her, she's going to fire me and I'm going to die from grief and losing my love. Like, I've been with your grandmother for more than 4 to 5 generations and shit. Like you talking about like I died from love, and I could die from love. And there was one time I broke up with some chick. I don't even want to say she dumped me, because I kind of forced it, because I was like, oh God, you're cheating on me, you won't tell me. And I just kind of like scrambled the relationship's eggs, and then I fucking left. But then like when she broke up with me and it was real, like, even though I tried to earn the breakup because I knew she was like kind of cheating on me, or like and this is how sensitive I am, she kind of showed interest in another boy by like semi-accident. and I started like breaking off the relationship and shit, cordially or casually and shit, in a very like normal way that you wouldn't need to notice or something. So then like when I broke it off, I kind of like absconded to like my real feelings later, and I was like traumatized and all fucked up. And like even when I was on my own, it's like, you ever have that little bitch attack and someone tells you to shut the fuck up and act normal, stop being a little bitch? It's like that wouldn't have worked, because I was literally like somewhat dying to myself. Like I literally went into the room of my house, and I had like 3 rooms to myself in this house that I was living with my other parents at the time. Not different parents, just like a long time ago, to where the like house was different at the other time, meant other house or whatever. But then I could have been anywhere in the house, but I wanted to be in the smallest part of my house, and I just went in there and like wiggled to death, turned off the light in a fucking built-in closet, like a little tiny one that's like one that you build from like IKEA and then throw in some corner or whatever. And then I hid in there to myself and turned off the light and wrote in the dark until I passed out from crying and shit. Like I almost like suffocated and died for like no fucking reason. After that I was like, man, this love shit bullshit could kill me. Fuck this shit. I am not interested in love for a while. So it'd be like 3-7 years every time that I wouldn't date somebody, or it'd just be like a strong fiber of a moment where I had to do something or be about something else before I tried to like even like have an instinct towards talking to a girl a certain normal way or showing interest in one at all. So, whatever. But by the end of it, like, some of us, you're gonna have to revile in the fact that because of stuff like this and the reasons I just described, or why cute people are always fucking psycho, just stay the fuck away from us. We're gonna be alone forever, or like leave society alone with what the fuck you're actually doing to it, or realize that probably even regardless of those things, we're just not programmed differently, and most of the natural surfaces to end up with somebody. I don't do that internet dating bullshit. I never have and never fucking will. I think it's sicko and fucking kind of lame. But like, or there has to be some kind of reason, like how did we both end up in that filing cabinet through dating or through online, like we were in the same chat group because we had to comment? Like, I doubt it. And the likelihood of my nerdy ass like breaking down why I had to explain to them why they're fucking incorrect isn't likely, because I've always been told to shut the fuck up and let them argue. Like, nah, let them two bitches argue. Let them two faggot niggas argue. Let them two them two G motherfuckers argue or some shit. Anyway, but like whatever. Like, no, I want to see how this goes. Don't ruin the argument with your intellect. Fuck that. And I want to see how they argue. Like, what the fuck? Alright, so I better shut the fuck up. But anyways, back to the fucking point. So I've been silent so many times about intellectual things that I just kind of let them go their own fucking way. That's what we go through from being like motherfucking light-skinned nerds, or just fucking black nerds at all. Not that there's that big of a difference. Just being a little bit more specific so you can understand, like, why would you not notice a fucking black nerd? Because I only notice 3% of my own black nerds that I love dearly, but like they're fucking kind of normal and kind of not accepted just for being nerdy. So then me being like on top of that, everything that they're kind of pushing off to the side to see if they can like get some smash or fuck is still really fucking annoying and weird. And whether I gotta be thug enough to say that or not is not that I never was thug enough. I was always very outspoken. But as I said, even the other friends that I had were like, nah, shut the fuck up, let them argue so I can figure out what the fuck, like how they arguing. And it's like, well, whatever, then I'll let them go and continue their experiment on them or whatever the fuck. Whatever, it seems like they'd be worse off with them than me anyway, because I'm really like kosher, and I'd break down at some point and be like, well, why do you have to argue like this, brother? Like, now you a bitch, now you made us all look like a bitch, let's go beat his ass and then ignore how stupid he is. Like, you a little bitch, nigga. And then I grew up and I had to like fucking like, fight certain things for myself, because it's just like you always gonna be battled out by these fucking people. But by the end, just accept it, because we're gonna be alone forever. Drink your Alizé, drink your Malibu, cheers up to y'all, and enjoy your motherfucking shit. Because like, whether you know it or not, and I'm not even being that specific, whether you know it or not, it's just, life is just tough like that for like, black people, or like black women and black men. And like, even if I could scramble away and find a solace out, I'll sometimes look at the opposite end of things like, this black bitch better always get my fake ass letter. He's like, sometimes I just leave it in random places where I'm just like, I know that sooner or later she'll find this and she won't know who left it for her. But it's like the only thing we have left over. These people are fucking ruthless. These people are fucking ruthless, and they'll never understand what the fuck we're ever really talking about, because they just have to play somebody out all the way up to 25% until they get their 25% before they get mine. Like, you know, before I gotta get mine. Like, what the fuck? Before they get mine. Like, what the fuck? But it doesn't really matter in the end. Like, I'm not judging as much as you think I am. Just like, think it's fucking sad, and every once in a while I have to break down and admit, like, even when I worry about my own heart and why even I accept being alone forever, I'm still just like, but if I feel bad about me, what about that other bitch? Like, what if it's just like me and her on the other side? And even if we never expect to be together because of how cruel the circumstances are of life, it's still kind of like, holy shit, she'll be alone for the rest of her life too. So then I put my pity and my grief there, and then I keep going back to soldier up for other things. And it's not like I ever expect to have anything, or like even to get a piece of that sweet cream. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if I'm gonna like break down for anybody, it should be for that person. So even when I give them my compliment and try to give them the Mac of their evening or some shit, and she can reject me, I don't give a shit, because it was like just to give her a compliment, because I don't expect anything. Because after a while, I have enough experience in life to know that like none of this means anything to anyone. It's just shit to like eat people's heart out and destroy them. So sometimes I just put all the meaning I can in, because I already know it means nothing to them. So even if sometimes I just know that if she's as lonely as I am, I might as well just leave these fucking flowers here and then just get out of there. I hope I don't look like a creep stalker to her mind, so that she just knows how to appreciate Valentine's Day or something, or whatever the fuck that I am. But I know they'll never expect that it's my statistic leaving them anything, so that's also sweet too. It's a double-edged sword. Isn't that so disgustingly funny? They don't even expect that it was another light-skinned dude. Just be like, oh, well, we're going to be alone forever. Here's your wine and chocolates. I don't even think you know me. Here's my number. Oh, well, call me maybe. What the fuck, am I, a bitch nigger literally? But whatever, anyway. Sometimes it's just like, if her sisterhood won't even do it, what the fuck am I supposed to be? Then I got to be a fucking sister and an auntie too? Like, you don't even know what the fuck it's like sometimes. I'm like, I'm a sister, a auntie, and a fucking fake ass boyfriend. Like, after a while I was like, oh my god, I'm a fucking lesbian. What the fuck am I gonna do with this shit? Somebody better not have a broken fucking heart from this garbage. Like, and it's always garbage. It's not like I'm having a breakdown. I'm just fucking saying, like, it's so literally true sometimes that I'm like, I can't be the only person, and I know I'm not. I don't think I'm that fucking unique or special. I just kind of am like, well, is there anything that's gonna fall in these fucking wounds of ours that doesn't feel like bullshit garbage or a fucking lie? And I know no black dude randomly breaks down and just tells you this, but sometimes I just be like, yeah, you think we're tough, right? You know what comes with being fucking tough? Is accepting the fact that, yeah, I don't give a shit either. Go fuck yourself. I hate your guts too. All they want to do is to torture me and blowtorch my fucking heart too. So I don't say anything either, but everything that I leave behind in secrecy, and then men try to make me Costa Nostra to, and then fight for them like I'm a demon god for all their bullshit, I still am just like, whatever, Hulk smash. But I didn't say that we had to be Red Hulk or Purple Hulk. I'm not arguing. I don't give a fuck. But then you put so much like capitalism on the bullshit to expect me to fight harder for you in the status quo. And by the end of it, why are you asking me? You know everything tells you that I should kill you. I should murk you. I should destroy you beyond life's integrity or recognition. But by the end of it, like, the only thing that stops me is a little girl. And then you think to send like pussy after me, and I literally like put it off to the side, treat it like it's some kind of like family member, and then I go back to minding my business. You want to know how I have the fucking integrity? Fuck you, how I have the integrity. Your ploys are disgusting. That's how I have the integrity. It was purely disgusting on your part. So by the end of it, don't talk to me about a gentleman or why that you're a fucking man. I don't owe nobody that fucking garbage. And if you ever wanted to know why you think people fear me so fucking much, why you think they're disgusted by me, Because somebody had to finally break down and tell you, they're like, oh, nobody else ratted? Well, guess what? I'm the back of the fucking line, and I had to tell you. It's like, oh, you get enough pussy then? You getting enough pussy, bitch ass nigga? But by the end of it, like, if you don't have any fucking heart for her or big sister or whatever the fuck, like, then get the fuck away from me. I saw what you did there, you piece of shit trash. And I'll never have a fucking chance in hell because of you, you fucking scumbag. So don't ever ask me how the fuck I feel or how the fuck I do it or why I'm the big daddy Matt. You get the fuck out of my offices. You're fucking fired from Hypnox. I don't know what the fuck you think I am, and I don't owe you anything. And even by the end of it, even when that's my real problems, it still goes back to the fact, like, what the hell is all this other disgusting shit? And why the fuck do I just have to post up and put it in some fucking filing cabinet and then spit and piss on it whenever you ask me about it? Because you'd be the only guilty one to fucking know. You'd be the only one to fucking know. That's how I caught you, you stupid motherfucker. So then by the end of it, it's like, how do you think I know this? I'm so good. I'm so smart. I'm so fucking clever. I'm sitting here doing the Elaine Bennis dance. You stupid motherfucker. You told me yourself by accident, you dumb piece of fucking trash. And then I gotta go and try to pretend like I have room to talk to her? You sicken me. You are the thing I'm dating. You are the fucking monster that I'm fucking, you fucking big old double GFA motherfucker. You sicken me. You sicken me. And I wish it wasn't her. I wish it was you. We gonna be alone forever. Now, doesn't it sound so much better, you piece of trash ass motherfucker? Doesn't it sound so much better? Since the fucking 80s, you bitch ass. Since the fucking 80s. You bitch ass. You shit piss needle beer drinking motherfucker. You bitch ass. It's almost laughable. But, like, even if when everybody else tells me that you just fucking crazy and it's some bullshit, yeah, it is. How's that? But, like, Big Daddy Matt does his thing, I guess. But even if, in the end, just remember, like, you still have to take the time to ask these people out. Let them reject you. Work on the muscle of getting rejected by women that deserve the fucking compliment, because their skin is so thick and they have to go through so much to hold up what they are as a human being that you may not ever be able to find one because of what society, the modern day world, and things have built of these women to be so strong. It's like these women only have like one of three choices that could seem natural if they wanted something, but most of the time these women are just trying to get through high school, college, like a better financial market. The fact that they might even get through all that and still get paid less than a fucking man. So you gotta take it really easy on women or on these things or whatever the fuck that is in life that you're encountering to try to like give them something more positive. Like, just take it real easy on women, because by the end of it, that's your little sister and that's your daughter. Because after a while, I lost sight of like the women that you're talking about and all these other things, and I wish I still had hope. That's why I ain't even mad at a normal player. If you're like a normal player, I don't have a problem with you. I'm talking about some other disgusting type of trash. But like when it comes to like a normal dude who's like knows how to ask out a chick, I'm proud of you. I know that you're normal. I know that you're like well built in society and you know how to deal with things. Like, you're already socialistically like developed and shit. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to like the other bullshit, it's like, dude, what do you think that I'm doing? What do you think that I'm looking for? Why do you think that I'm all these crazy ass fucking things? Or are you trying to play it up to something that you didn't break? And like most men know what I'm talking about, and that doesn't make you guilty, but like most men know what I'm talking about. What the fuck are you trying to pretend that you didn't break? What do you think that I fucking am? Magic? Like I'm just made out of making better than life really is, because it's not true and it never will be because you already broke it. But just work on fixing it, because I don't have no girlfriends like that. I don't have that many girlfriends. I have like sisters and aunties and daughters and sisters. I like I had to say sisters multiple times to even feel like complete. Like what the fuck? Because like so many of them are people that I'm like, no, I know what I have to do there. Like, I just gotta leave some alcohol and then get out of the fucking room. Gotta leave a cigar over there and get out of the fucking room. I gotta leave her some new shoes and just get out of the fucking room. Like, there's so many mistakes have been made by other fucking men. It's like, You want to talk about being the status quo? Have you ever tried actually rewarding society about why they would even buy a girl like a fucking Louis Vuitton bag or some crazy fucking shit and then just leave the bitch with it and not even get some pussy? You know why I do shit like that? We're never going to be able to rebuild what was already damaged there. And sometimes I'm just leaving shit and I'm getting the fuck out of her. So all she'll remember is that fucking handbag and those sunglasses, because she needs to have a good fucking life without you or without me there to sneak in on days that I feel we can need some pussy and try to like accidentally convince her that she was the cheerleader of my life. Who the hell gives a shit? I don't give a shit about that cheerleader either. All I'm saying is that that's what that is. And so days that I succumb to some sick fucking fetish that I don't even fucking have, it's like, why does it have to be the day that I bought you a purse or the day that like I had to figure out how to make up something to you about what society did to us? Then fuck it, it's just not even worth it. Like 98% of the time is the truth, and the 7 to 10% of the time that I could even try to make it up to us as a quality, us as a race, or us as a fucking human being, or whatever, would never be enough to fulfill the void of how I naturally met this person. You mean we're gonna be alone minus like 25% for the rest of my life? Fuck money. I'm talking about like adding up like, oh, they're both together because of these reasons. Tradition is this reason. It's probably already over 25% anyways. It's probably more like 7 to 12%, but who the hell gives a shit? And then even by the end of it, it's minus that amount. So even a normal people have like, 38 to like 40 or 70 something percent of not being with each other at all that are actually like normal, right, psychologically made for each other and a part of society and naturally developed. What the fuck? Of course I'm not interested in anything. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me before I shoot you like anyone else. Like, get the fuck away from me. I have pepper spray too. Get the fuck out. You hurt me too much. You hurt life too much. You hurt society too much. Get the fuck away from all of us. And then they're light skinned and black. Get the fuck out before I rub peanut butter on your face and keep breaking your fucking nose. Because all you ever asked me was for brown skin and a fucking nose. So after a while, it's like all I know you is for brown skin and a fucking nose. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out before I shoot you in your knee and try to convince everybody else you're not a military or a pimp. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is this? And that's all you figured out how to do was convince yourself that you're not a pimp, you're in the military, or that you're a military guy hiding as a pimp to get away from them. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, bruh, I hate you. I hate you. You ever sit there and every once in a while you have like a flashback of something and we're just sitting here and we're like, oh yeah, every once in a while, like, brown people break down and explain to you why, like, we're not Mexican, you dumbass. You ever seen a white dude and he's like in an argument with the Mexican and you're sitting there like, dude, I'm not Mexican, bro. And then like, and I'm not even like the one hitting on us. Like I say us because like, of course I'm desperately the fuck alone like everybody else who's cool and well built like me and like, not psychologically a threat to you or anyone else. We're just really alone because all they do to get a life was threaten everyone else who was actually fucking normal and deserved a life. What's actually going on is what the fuck is actually going on. But anyways, by the end of it, I'm too cool to believe in school, so don't even come back for the lower caps of spelling bees to get your vocabulary from me. Because I ain't calling back to fuck you in the Nate like cat. That's why you were afraid to take a taxi. Buy a spray can of aerosol and get high before you get pepper sprayed by me. It's not a committee that's coming back to collect them. It's the collection of the taxi vote that you're only interested in. Now, if they tell me after my Duralapsa ass skin, then what you think that they ass skin for? All that to fuck me out of my skin? Ugh. I never felt white before. How's that? Anyway, by the end of it, you sicken me. So 75% of the world that has to live with your bullshit has to worry about 25% of the fucking money. Fuck both of you. I'm broke from you. How's that? I don't owe you a fucking thing. Not a damn one of you. I don't owe you shit and I hate your fucking guts. And I'm the most vicious rapper in the world you never fucking heard of. And I don't even give a fuck about that. You already destroyed the dream of the most basic, like, good things in life that are like, why the fuck would I ever care? So, like, and I don't even care about rap that fucking much. Sometimes I ask myself, like, what the fuck is that worth without love, sweet love, and determination, or acting credits, or my triple threat nomination. Like, why the fuck would I give a shit? You're so fucking disgusting. I don't even want to be in the world. So sometimes when you like try to demoralize me and torment me, and I'm better at all of those things, I just kind of sit there and I stare at them and I'm like, why do you think I'm tanking you? Because, like, I have so much stuff to potentially destroy everything that you just want me as a weapon now? Fuck you. I'm not Muhammad Ali or anything. And even if I was, I wouldn't give you that much fucking integrity as to try to stick my dick in your fucking face. And, like bitch nigger ass men want me to fuck them too? Like, yeah. I wish I was gay so I could just fuck them up too, but it's like, man, I'd be a good gay man. I'll tell you, sometimes I'll beat the shit out of them and just fuck them over too. Make them feel like us. By the end of it, it's just like too much like harsh like shit to say to the world for it to understand what I really am. So I don't even bother explaining it. But back to the furthermore point, I don't think that would help out a lonely bitch either. She would just be like, we're actually being tormented. No, we're not. I'm just telling you the truth that, like, if anybody should know, you should know that hip science cares if nobody else cares. You know how many busted ass things have been taken away from us in society? And you're afraid of it? Like, come on now. All you have to do is just admit to ourselves that what is really going on is what's really going on. You'll never really have a place in society because what's really going on is what's really going on. So I threw that shit away anyway. So I threw away being black too, but I'm just kind of like re-gearing and explaining the fact that like this is what life is. So I'm throwing that away. But for all the people that know they're going to be alone for the rest of their life, it's not just because I'm crazy. You can blame me if you want. I don't care. I'll carry that because I already am. But like, it still gets back to the fucking point. Like, do you realize how crazy that actually fucking is? And then if you accept that just like without race, without all the tangles of, without knowing Hypnox, without realizing how crazy this seems or how like crazy black people are or whatever it might seem to any other race, it still would be like, why do they do that? Isn't this kind of just remotely true? All the people that were normal enough to get past all of this shit and still found some real love or whatever the fuck they were looking for, I don't doubt that bullshit, but like, wasn't it difficult just being normal with these fucking people? Or how much they try to drive and slay out of you? Like, if you're still on the side of saying no to everything and you do not concede, I do not concede. How's that? Where's my Mimi on that? You want to make me a Mimi? Make me a Mimi. We do not concede. I do not concede. No fucks given. No fucks given. Put it right next to that one. No fucks given. We do not concede. We do not owe you a goddamn thing. So regardless of it, I went back to living my life in my own. I don't give a shit. I'm partaking in society's popular culture things and all that shit. So even if like I disappear again, and still remember that like it's always been that way my whole life, and it's always been, I do not concede. And everybody else that was saying no fucks given, I fucking agreed with you too. It was as close as I could get to I do not concede. So whatever. We'll put it right next to no fucks given. I don't give a shit. So if you wanted to know what that felt like or why you wanted to empathize with me, there's the rest of your explanation and shit. These are my forms of the Marlon Brando's tape and shit. You know what I mean? Whatever. Be an animal, take your incarnate, and keep going with your power animal. Like, whatever you gotta do it for the fucking Fight Club, do it for the anti-establishment, or whatever is going to define the next division of the status quo to a higher recognition and a higher status of the hierarchy. I would prefer a hierarchy than the epsilon, but whatever, close enough. Don't give a shit, happy with it. I don't care. I ain't judging them that fucking hard. But by the end of it, I just feel bad because, like, out of all that whole thing, I still am like, man, that poor little girl, because of us, or your type, or us, she's gonna be alone for the rest of her life. Save her. Sometimes I don't give a shit about myself either, but save her. Save her. If you ever recognize this, or ever you realize and learn not to be arrogant enough to hate me and to take some conceited fucking advice, save her. Because, like, I know I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life, but if you can save her any way that you can. She deserves at least a fucking compliment on her way home from work that doesn't seem like trash or scares her. Don't intimidate her. Just give her a good compliment. Make her know that she's like worth so much more than that. Even if she trashed you and throw you away, don't recoil. Don't respond back to her incorrectly. Do that shit like you work for some place and it's just like, well, honestly, sir, I can't respond to you like that. I'm just an employee. Like, do it like a blue person and just let her destroy you and then just leave, so that girl will always remember that she's not the only thing in life being like predatorialized to that extent or something. Like, she has a way to just tell you no and tell you that you're garbage or something. You gotta let her out of that, because she gonna be trapped forever. Me and you, we can box all day, and all you want me to do is hug your fucking ugly and then make you feel like you can beat the philosophies out of me, which you'll never be able to do, bitch ass motherfucker. But by the end of it, no matter how much you beat my ass, you got something to fight with. You got a brotherhood that can exist for an internal warfare forever. Thanos and Hulk smash, whatever, I don't give a shit. Silver Surfers might fuck you in the butt. Don't care. You understand what I'm saying? You could get a fucking real tragedy here. Like, we don't owe you motherfuckers anything. Y'all are sick. And then call me some gay men. I don't even owe you. But then by the end of it, it starts to seem like, do you realize you have the chance to save somebody that could believe you, instead of just fucking with somebody who's just not your fucking type, and there's no way to take advantage of me? Like, bro, you already broke that fucking hope. I don't owe you. I don't owe you. You disgust me. And of course, why the fuck would they be listening to this? Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right. Because, like, they're fucking disgusting, and I don't know why. I don't know why the fuck you just need to confirm that, like, the person, like, knows what the fuck you're trying to do to her. Yeah, no, I don't give a shit. I just don't like you. And I don't like any of those types of people. I don't like men in general. How's the fuck is that? But we're not talking about black men. We're literally talking about those type of players, those type of motherfuckers that just need to get over on somebody or need to get over on some pussy. But then when pussy ain't good enough, you need to get over on another man that seems better than you. And I don't even know how they described me as a better man to you. I'm not even a pimp or player. Even if I was a project, I wouldn't have to fuck you back or pop the pimples off of your ass with my dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the shit I have to come up with to do with you. I don't like you. Like, don't you get it? Why the hell do I have to think this way? So even beyond that, like, I really don't. And I really don't even care that much. It's just more of like the godforsaken. Because when I look at myself, I'm like, fuck that. I'm a scrap piece of shit. I can be a weapon. Fuck them. They have already destroyed the world. I am only useless to forge. Only more. And like, I don't know and I don't care. But then when it comes to like, what if I was a little girl? What if I accidentally had a daughter? Oh my God, I'd have to destroy them all so that she could exist. And then I realized something. I don't want to be with anybody. Like, no one's going to survive this daughterings. Like, I hope I don't have a daughter. But and I don't think I will anyway. Like I said, probably not. I'll probably die alone. But by the end of it, it's still like, if I had a daughter, the thought entered my mind. If I had a daughter, and it didn't seem that important, because of course you could have a daughter or a boy, but then I never really thought about it. You just always imagine as a boy, like a boy, or maybe women always imagine like having a girl. But then I sit there and I was like, oh my God, if I had a daughter, I'd have to turn into like Muhammad Ali on demon crack. And I already somewhat quietly am. And I'm like, oh my God, they want to know my real personality. Oh, they're garbage. I have to tell them they're trash. And then accept what society actually is. Oh God, why do they want me to cry like a little bitch? But if I give it to them, I can get like more spankings to them. Oh, like you don't think about what I'm thinking. I'm not even that fucking conniving. But when I'm sitting there and I'm like, the only way out is to fuck you over. And like literally, sometimes the only thing that they make is the only way out for Hypnox is to fuck you over. Why don't you just go away? You think I want to battle other shitty rappers? Like, I'm a pretty good rapper, but when it comes to like shitty rappers and like, what are you doing, trying to give me a hit? Or like, what are you doing? I don't owe anybody that. Like, I'm not that type of musician that I need to like cheat or get a sponsorship. I don't owe you. And it's like, you obviously want to take advantage of things that you know I'm capable of. And then like, I'm sitting there like, nah, I don't work for those type of people. And like, I don't work for those type of people. And even when they bring up other people and they try to make me beef war with them, I be like, that person is so trash. Why do you want me to waste like something that, like, it's just terrible. So like, whether you know me or not, and whether I don't publicize that much or not, I still am just like, yeah, I'm still on the underground. Don't check. Because every once in a while, they'll check and see if I'm still alive or doing something. And I'm just kind of sitting there like, yeah, I'm still underground. Yeah, I'm still seriously, viciously sitting here like waiting to destroy certain things. Now, even when people just like are good at rap, don't talk to me. Because like the type of hatred that I have for life about certain things, you do not stand a chance, let alone you want to just like see if you can like throw a little shot in there and see if you can burn off some aggravation. Nah, dog, it's infinite war. I'll hate your guts forever. And you know what you fucking men did. I hate you more than women do. Yeah, boy. Think about that. Simmer that for a second. And you may want to be the one that takes me out, but in the real, you're never going to get the battle you're looking for because I'm not women. I'm not a little bitch. So you don't have to get over that bullshit about like jail rape. Like that's the best thing you got is some fucking jail rape. And you heard how jail is. Go check the phones in jail. We're like, if you have to report a fucking jail rape, like so just go somewhere else with that. Obviously you're a sicko, you always have and always will be. So I'll never owe you anything. So by the end of it, go get your pride somewhere else, you piece of pathetic shit. And if you couldn't get it from her even and she couldn't like you, why the fuck I gotta like you? You know, whatever. Go through auntie or some fucking shit. You trash her. I see you at church and try to act sane because if you try to battle me at church, you still look like a little bitch. But anyway, by the end, even when we got to pretend to have a fucking world and shit. But by the end of it, too much ego, mouth-centric drama for what it's actually fucking worth. But real talk, you disgusting. And that's what men are worth in life to us, or at least to me. Or like, even if I was blindly living in society's darkness outside of popular culture, because I'm not into popular culture, how do you explain? Do you give a shit about her? Like, how you gonna cover my blindness on that? Like, why don't you like back her the fuck up? Like, you know, I mean, she's alone in the world, I'm alone in the world, and I'm blind. Like, how come I didn't see enough favors for her to consider, or like for me to consider that she was well taken care of? I don't even think sometimes she has a statistic over 2%, and I'm supposed to be 5% by my damn self. Like, I mean, dude, you're so disgusting to me, I don't even think she can survive. Like, I don't know, like, I don't think you could ever convince me anyways, but you, like, if you ever deal with me and you know that you can't convince me, go give it to somebody else. Go take care of her. Take care of auntie or something. Do something else for the rest of the family. Because there's no way you're going to be fighting me. Like, I don't owe you. You trash. You trash. And we're not even talking about, like, you know, colored or cultured society. We talking about, like, even if you was just men, do it for somebody else. This is obviously the clan warrior. Like, get the fuck away from me. You have nothing to say to me. What are you going to do? Suck my toes again? What are you going to do? Lay fruit in front of me? What are you going to do? Come talk to me in my jail cell? Hey, what are you going to do? Buy me a lawyer? Get the fuck out. Oh, you a fucking thing. 59, 85, 42. Fuck you. And then 21, fuck you. And then 1906, fuck you. And then you know what? Even furthermore, 400 years ago, fuck you too. And then, you know what I mean? Well, no, now it's about 500 years ago. Fuck you too. You know what I mean? Fuck it. And, you know, while I'm at it. But anyway, Hypnot's crazy. If you don't care, nobody else cares.